Temur. Temur is one of our favorite color combinations, blue, green, and red. This is very similar to the green-red Fires deck that we had played to some success earlier on. This build is notably leveraging Growth Spiral and Uro as ways to accelerate up to the top end of our curve. Uro is also sweet with Cavalier of Thorns as an extra threat that we can escape out of the graveyard. Uro makes it so this Cavalier basically draws cards. We've also got Ali Oxenfree up here on our curve that we can escape out of the bin after we floop it over with Cavalier. Giving money away confirmed easy. Thanks, Tomto. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Even I donate money when I'm fortunate, right? And I'm not exactly wealthy. Like when I won Twitch Rivals last year and I donated 1,500 of the $5,000 that I got in prize money, like that chunk of money is significantly more percentage-wise of my net worth than like what billionaires give away in the average year. Hey, Sly Croissant, thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. See how easy this is to give money away? And that's because I'm seeing Dire Feather with some Spellbreakers in the mix. Sounds good, Wargy. I'll get all those updated this evening. This list has no fear of aggro. Listen, I've got Uro and I've got Storm's Wrath. Don't you tell me what I'm afraid of. I ain't scared. We're gonna win. This dojo does not contain fear, chat. No room for fear. Yeah, we're gonna draw a green source on 2. We're gonna Growth Spiral. We'll have Fires into Storm's Wrath. Oh no! Oh no! Yikes! Needs to draw a green source, draws a triple green card. Feels Hoaglandia, man. Feels Hoaglandia, man. Alright, they took a tapped land. Let's draw an untapped land, huh? Untapped land. Untapped land. Untapped land. Main deck Tybalt. Who hurt you, opponent? What was their name? What did they do to you? How many lands are in this deck, by the way? I feel like I don't want to know the answer to that question. Only 26. Well, there's our problem. We should be playing 27. Only 26 lands. Burn, baby, burn. Storm, Wrath, Inferno. Do 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 do. Beep do 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 do. Beep do 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 do. Well, they knew we were Temur. They exiled some green cards. So we need to draw any land next turn, and then we go Cavalier, Cavalier, mill Uro, start gaining life. That's the plan, chat. We could be dead here. Heartfire. All right, that was not the way in which I was expecting to be dead, but it works. It certainly qualifies. I feel like this is uncuttable. I need 3 more trims though. Klothys is bad here. No, Klothys gains you 2 life a turn. And he ramps you. Klothys on 3 can play Cavalier on 4. Yeah, I'm gonna trim a growth spiral. I think I'm gonna trim a Cavalier of Flame. I think. Shave Uros. You want me to shave the card that gains 3 life against the aggro deck? I'm gonna hard pass on that idea. In fact, Uro gaining 3 life when it comes into play is part of the reason why I'm explicitly leaving 4 green Cavalier in my deck as opposed to the 4th red Cavalier. Because green Cavalier drawing us into Uro is very, very good. Feels magic, man. Listen, chat. If you want to correct me on specific gameplay stuff, it's whatever. If you want to sit there and keep giving me shit in chat about Vorthos, I'm gonna time you out. Bugger off. I don't care what Vorthos thing I got wrong. Get over it. Maybe I'm supposed to not play. Yeah, I think this is actually wrong. If I was less annoyed with chat, maybe we'd be better off. I think I was supposed to play an untapped land there and go stomp plus play a 4/3. It probably doesn't matter. Probably just did regardless. He said before his opponent played a bunch of haste creatures and killed him. Even a sweeper doesn't really do enough here, right? Because if I sweep, they get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tokens. The ranges of games of Magic the Gathering. The old screw followed by flood. Full experience of emotions. My favorite part about Twitch chat is when I tell them to stop doing the thing, and then someone always pipes up as like, hey Jeff, I'm gonna do the thing again, in a very non-ironic manner. Bugger off. And get rimmed here. Take 5. It's a good pickup. Means this gets to fetch a... well, now with that, this will fetch a green, huh? So we can play these Cavaliers. Hey, tournaments I'm considering attending in the immediate... God bless America. This flipping card, man. It's so tilting. It's such a tilting Magic card. I think we're still fetching green here. Because if we can cast these, they'll find us blue. So Epic actually hit some technical difficulties with their Steam release, so I won't be doing a stream for them today or tomorrow, possibly next week. As for the sorry, I have to laugh, otherwise I'd cry. As far as tournaments, no, not really. There aren't a lot of paper standard tournaments these days. The NRG series is all Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy. And I was planning to go play some Pioneer in the NRG events, but then, like, they just took Pioneer and spiked it into a garbage can. It just doesn't feel like it's worth my time to go play. Yeah, I have a hard cut today, Scholar. Have to get Jake off the bus today. Yeah, if they decide they don't want Pioneer to be Modern Light, I'll probably find a deck I like and show up, but the current play patterns of Pioneer have been like every morning's been a dumpster fire for like the last couple of weeks. It's not been a good time. That's definitely a fine deck to put back in the queue, though. It's a good one. Actually, I think it's in there, and Beansy bumped it back up. I think we're playing it tomorrow, if I recall correctly. Yeah, check. I'm pretty sure it's already in there, and I think Beansy bumped it. Is that turn 4 Cavalier? Is that fast enough? I don't think I'd ever play blue-white approach at a tournament. Generally speaking, showing up to tournaments playing decks that aren't really proactive tends to be a mistake, in my opinion. I mean, to be fair, this is the same match we were just playing. We just sideboarded. We are playing against Mono Red for the second time in a row in this constructed event, but... I don't know, Peppa. I haven't really been consuming a lot of other Magic content personally. With Christy being pregnant, it's just like I just haven't had like our lives have been hectic. Just haven't had time to do things outside of work. It's tough to keep everything together that I want to be doing. You gotta cast your spells this game. It is borderline cheating. You're not wrong. Don't worry. This is a game where I get to cast my spells, so we're gonna die horribly to Embercleave, I'd assume. Hey, A-Tag, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Be having a good one wherever you are. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Do they not have it? Do they just have like a shock or a rim here? That would be so good for us, chat. Oh wait, they're gonna give it 2 attack and then they're gonna make mana and then Embercleave. What? Is their deck broken? I feel like they should file for compensation. Yeah, Shuffler must be broken. No, they had 4 mana. They had 3, 4, and it's 6 minus 2 is 4. Yeah. No, I counted right. Maybe I shouldn't have put this on top. I kind of wanted to draw this Bonecrusher Giant, huh? You played against any straight blue-black control. We've played, yeah, we played straight blue-black before we played the Sultai build. So if you go back on my YouTube channel, there's a straight blue-black build that we turned into Sultai. I think the Sultai build is better. We're not quite dead to Torbrand, right? If we can fade Cleave for a turn, we'll be in a pretty good spot. Did they just no attacks? That had to have been a misclick, right? Alright, so we want this to hit an untapped land so I can escape a row. He said before he missed. Alright, I guess I just do this. So that way I can I wanna leave up Brontodon from here on out. It's on my website back again. If you haven't been to jeffhoagland.com and click standard decks on the main navigation, you're missing out on all sorts of sweet standard lists that you haven't seen yet. It's a hand-curated page of deck lists, descriptions of them, and then videos of me playing them. All of those pages are regularly updated. When a deck on there I feel is no longer competitive, I remove it from the website. It's not like MTG Top 8 or MTG Goldfish, where you have to wonder, like, does Jeff think this deck is reasonable? Is this something I should attempt? I mean, that's not really a burn on those other sites. Those sites don't have the goal of doing what my website is doing. Like, if those sites aren't inherently bad, they're just different than what my deck does, or what my site does. Yeah, neither of those sites are official Magic sites either. I was just being descriptive. I wasn't putting those sites down. Those sites are incredibly useful, and I utilize them quite often myself. Are we dead? I think we're dead, huh? Did I play around Embercleave and then die because I was playing around Embercleave? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, if I would have escaped Uro instead of playing around Embercleave, we would have lived here. It's really unfortunate. Wait, no, we wouldn't have. No, yeah, we would have gained block for 4. No, I would have had another blocker catch-up fights, so I would have been at 2. I would have been at 2. Yeah, a lot of people I block a lot of idiots on Twitter who frequently are like, "Wow, Jeff, why are you complaining about this thing?" And it's like, well, it's not actually a complaint if you read what I wrote. I just described something that's happening, and you don't like what I'm describing, so you're viewing my description as a complaint. When it's not, it's just describing how something is. Lebu support, thanks for the brand new Prime, I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. So, Drew, the reason why I think you're incorrect about that being the right line is because Uro gives me 1 look at a land, whereas Cavalier of Thorns gives me 5 looks at a land. So you're saying the correct play is to take 1 look instead of 5? And I think that's very silly. Hey, not basic mountains. Yay. Yeah, and that's something that happens very frequently, is especially with someone who's polarizing like myself. People often put the context to the words that you're saying online based on how they feel about you. So if someone likes you, they assume what you're saying is positive, and if someone dislikes you, they generally always assume what you're saying is negative. I don't know. I don't know that it's fair to assume everything like that is a bot problem, Ketchup Fikes. You gotta remember, a number of Americans were dumb enough to vote for Trump, so some of that happens in actual good faith, disgustingly enough. Probably just Sky Fires on the other side of the board. They're just letting us hang out and do our thing here. Still 1 card away from Uro escaping back. I watched it live, Fish Lamp. I watched most of the debate last night. Christy had a PTA meeting that she went to, so. All right, not just Skyfires, got it? Esper? It must be Esper with the Mistland drops, huh? Could be Grixis. Could be Grixis. I don't know, Philly, because like I remember growing, like I wasn't really involved. Like I was a child, like when Blagojevich, the whole Blagojevich thing happened. No, I wasn't. I was a teenager. When was that? That was when Obama got elected the first time, right? It was in 08? Yeah, I was 17. I remember my family members who are conservatives really hating Blagojevich. So I can't imagine like him pardoning them like does stuff for that base. But I guess that base is probably bigoted enough that they're going to vote for Trump regardless of what he does. So maybe it just doesn't matter. Yeah, it's normalizing corruption. Do I want Dispute here if they're a counterspell deck? Maybe I want Dispute instead of Bonecrusher Giant. I don't really know what they're doing. If they're going to be playing something like Hero, I'll be sad. Yeah! Duress this! Ugh! Get out of here. That's a good observation. Main deck Cry means probably not Hero. It's a good thing to pick up on. You have Shock and Growth Spiral in hand. Why didn't the rest work? Asking the real questions. Do I want to know how much the trophy pets are selling for? I feel like I don't. People had them listed for several $100s. Good luck. Yeah, they're listed, they haven't sold. That's a very important eBay distinction. Gosh, chat. Aren't prison cards fun? Aren't prison cards fun? I enjoy Magic the Gathering. It allows me to play with cards that I enjoy in a manner that is interesting. Sold listing shows $75 to $100. Yeah, I'd believe that. Sick. We get to kill the Narset. Hand unlocked. How much of a mess was Gruul? A very large mess. That was not a good scene. Ooh. Top deck hero. Bum bum bum. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! In my head, I had already killed the Narset, and then I was so excited that we drew Fires of Invention. I'm really glad we're lucky, chat, because if the better player won in Magic, I'd be. It just wouldn't work for me. I'm really glad that Magic's a high variance game where idiots like me get to win after they take games and try and spike them into the garbage can. God bless us, everyone. I was just yelling at the screen. Listen, all's well that ends well, chat. Now that's the reason why people come to this stream, right? If you wanted to see good play, you could go watch one of the MPL players. We keep it real here. We bring the gameplay down to a level that you all are familiar with. Not good play, good television. Yeah, exactly. See? Thanks for the half a year of support, Yegi. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, this is our third match, and our first two we died to mono red. We also ran pretty bad for the first two, so I'm interested to see what mono red matchup looks like when we have a good draw here. So let's see if we can hit a fifth land. I like our chances here. I apologize. The doctor, lawyer, astronaut, marriage counselors in chat. Oh, level 2 judges in chat. You don't frequently make mistakes. Apologies for maybe implying otherwise. Storm's Wrath's the best draw on our deck here. Of course you're all of those things. That's why I listed them. Only a level 2 judge? Don't insult me. Judges go up to level 3 currently, I believe. If I recall correctly. At one point it went to 5. I believe that numbering system was simplified at one point though. Alright, so we've got an Uro for next turn, as well as a Stomp. Important to note the way Escape interacts with Fires of Intervention. I do have to pay 4 mana for this. Things that are relevant. They have like double rim here, or like rim plus shock. We got you, Turtle Man. We aim to please. Bonecrusher's ready. This is why I double block, just in case they had some crazy combination of things. Get to eat their stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, you love to see it, chat. You love to see it. And actually, with this deck, I want to leave some things to get back with Green Cavalier, but also lands for Red Cavalier. Crunch. I believe Fires in Uro is because Escape is considered an alternative casting cost, and Fires is also an alternative casting cost, and you can't use two different alternative casting costs together. I believe is the magic jargon reason for why that works that way. This is actually not a layers thing. That's correct. I'm a level 2 astronautical engineer. God bless. I appreciate you including your credentials with your answer. Just letting us know you know what's up. I think I'm supposed to keep this. Just because it has growth spiral. Swish, chat, swish. Draw Uro. No, we want to draw that one, chat. That's the one to draw. Yeah, no Annex here is huge. Are we gonna do it, chat? Are we gonna beat the Red Menace? Wow, we were lucky they didn't have a land last turn. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I don't think I want a passage there. I think I'd rather just have more colors. I don't know, that could go either way. I think we escape Uro just to start gaining some life here. And then we can hold up Bonecrusher Giant to stomp. Can hold up Bonecrusher to stomp stomp if they try an Embercleave. Yeah, it feels like we solidly slid into garbage time here. Do 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 do. Hey, Just J4K, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Bye, friends. Shock before equip to player on Infuriate. Infuriate gives +3/+2. So shocking before the equip doesn't play around anything. Alright, look at that. Don't call it a comeback, chat. After 0-2ing the first one, we're up to 2-2 now. 2-0, 2-0 in the next. I call this good enough. Really like to find a growth spiral in our first 2 cards. I did, Nemesis. It was a treat. Warren really stepped up her game last night. I felt like she had pretty middling performances in most debates up until this point, but she was pretty on last night. Having a big boy billionaire in their midst to dump on probably inspired her a bit. Opponent. Green doesn't get sweepers for creatures. Did Pete do anything big in his career, or did he just randomly stumble into being a top contender? He was mayor of a town in Indiana. You're on the fence between Warren and Bernie. Any words of wisdom to help me out? I think the defining factor and the reason why I settled on Bernie as opposed to Warren is that Warren feels like she's positioning herself as the more conservative, progressive choice and just feels kind of middling on some of her plans. Her plans are definitely less aggressive than Bernie's, especially if you look at the details between how she would ideally roll out her Medicare for All in a perfect world versus Bernie. And with healthcare being my #1 voting issue, along with climate being close behind it, I decided to settle on Bernie because of that. Others would call that pragmatic. Yeah, it's just tough. So politicians, especially Democrats, have a history of being very liberal or progressive during the primaries and then becoming more centrist during the general election to try and appeal to more people instead of sticking to their guns. And the way Warren moved her Medicare for All plan back makes me worry that in the general election, she might pull back even more for fear of like trying to appeal more widely. When in reality, Medicare for All as is does appeal to many people. I also feel like some of the things Warren's campaign has done, the way in which she's come at, like Bernie in particular, I haven't liked how her campaign's been run. And I feel like the people advising her campaign haven't been running it in a way that I really like. So here's the thing, Jay Miller. The people writing these plans aren't the ones that get to implement them. So like these people, in my opinion, Warren having all of these really detailed policy proposals as like something of a geek, I think it's really neat. And in an ideal world where she was the one writing all of these bills, that would be great. But honestly, all of the nuance of those details, when she's not the one actually implementing them in the Senate and the Congress, she can coax and push in the right direction. But honestly, I think the overtone window that the candidate represents is more important than those details, because the way the candidate pushes the narrative pushes the public to push their representatives. No, none of these people are going to have their plans implemented verbatim, and I think Bernie does a lot more than Warren does in order to push the conversation of the country surrounding Medicare for all in the direction that I would want it to be. I feel like he's a stronger messenger of that. You think political revolution doesn't seem very appealing? I disagree. I think that is very strong messaging. In fact, I think there are a lot of people who've been hurt. If the idea of a political revolution wasn't appealing, Donald Trump would not be president right now. There are a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump because they wanted to see the current system burn to the ground, and they didn't care if it was Bernie Sanders or a bigot and a rapist that was burning it to the ground. They just wanted something to change. And based on polling and based on the first two primaries that we've had so far, it seems like the idea of some actual progressive change is something people want. All right, so Klothys is actually going to make us a mana here off their Fabled Passage. So I think we actually wait to play Fires for a turn. Because if I play Fires, I only have 4 lands and can't cast a spell. So we just play Cavalier here, and next turn we'll go Fires plus Cavalier. Yeah, the president, don't get me wrong, don't make what I said there about into the president can't do anything. The president definitely has some powers, but they don't have the power to actually write the laws. That's not something that they have. You're right that they can do some things with executive orders and other things like that. What do you mean? What do you mean his response wasn't strong? He told the truth. What did you want him to say? Yes, in order to come into a clean energy world, people who work in jobs that require dirty energy are going to lose those jobs and need to transition. And he was straightforward and honest about the fact that his plan does lose people their jobs, but also includes transition plans to help those people find new work. I messed up here. Obviously should have fetched with this before Mayhem Devil came into play. Took an extra point of damage. Really need to draw Storm's Wrath here. I think it's worth getting rid of a card out of my bin to gain 2 life here, even though it puts me further away from escaping these. There isn't time for that nuance in the debate stage thing. You're not allotted to get into that nuance in the time that they allow you, Peppa Jack. That's unrealistic to expect. People that want to learn the details of those plans should read the policy proposals. Which, again, even those only are worth so much because they're not really the people that are going to be implementing the laws exactly as written. And I know it sucks to hear. I pissed someone off. There are a couple of rude comments on my YouTube channel that I removed people's ability comment last time we talked about that. I know it sucks to hear you need to change jobs, but guess what? Old boomers who are afraid that their dirty energy jobs are going to be leaving, millennials change jobs constantly. I'm probably going to have 4 or 5 jobs by the time I die. Sorry that the one job you have that's killing the planet, you're gonna have to retrain to do something else so we can get rid of that job and save the planet for my children and your children and their children to live on in the future. Sorry it's inconvenient. That's the reality of what we're living. Sorry it's inconvenient to them. Change is scary and tough. Promise you'll never leave us. I'll be here as long as you'll have me, Top Toe. The computer sector is based around changing jobs. If you want to improve conditions, they complain about having to change ones. Yes, they're just, you know, they grew up in a different time. All right, so I think we just Storm's Wrath here, huh? And then crunch them. It's a good draw. Boomers complaining about younger generations feeling entitled to things is one of the cultural cases, biggest cultural cases of projection. Yeah, definitely. So they're gonna kill my Cavalier here, but that's fine. I get to get some goodies on top of my deck. Chat, I have another Cavalier in my hand, chat. Chat, there's another Cavalier right here, chat. It's right here, chat. I promise you this Cavalier is about to attack. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm capable of empathy. I'm capable of saying, yeah, we need to help those people, and that's why there's plans to help them. But like saying like, we can't do this thing that needs to get done is nonsense. I mean, I don't know that they're quite dead yet, but we're gonna get close. Oh, and I just get to put Red Cav back on top of my deck? Oh yeah, deal. FUD like that, Redcap, is fucking nonsense, and it's not welcome in my chat. Bugger off. Correct, Bert. It's tough. The internet's a strange place. You're not wrong. So they can bring the cat back and chump block with it, but then like they don't have a food in play, so that's nice. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's what you do to generate. When you don't have actual data or facts, you just say something that sounds scary to maybe put people off of doing the thing you don't want them to do. So next turn I get to play this, ditch some stuff. This will turn this on, assuming they don't have another thing. I also have a bunch of lands in my bin, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands at this point, and they're at 10. Are you worried that when Amy and Biden drop, their voters will go to Pete? Nah, not at all. The assumption that Amy and Biden voters will go to Pete works on the basis that voters are logical and vote purely based on policy. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. Hello, Lens. Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Looking for another creature. Bonecrusher will do. Get to shock this in, give everything 3 attack and haste, smash. Tons of polls now show Biden voters with Bernie as their second choice. Yeah, that's definitely the case. There's also people who like Klobuchar's their first choice, but like Warren's their second, and vice versa. Hey, thanks for the 2 months, Cobber. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. All right. Storm's Wrath sounds good. Redcap's fine. Lava Coil's fine. Bonecrusher's fine. I think this is too slow at our top end. Questing Beast is a card I was cutting against red, but it's actually probably okay here because attacking past their cat seems meaningful. I think we'll trim Ox. Leave these in as my top end punches. I've been trimming Growth Spiral. Maybe this isn't a Redcap matchup. It kills Mayhem Devil, but that's about it. This cleans up Mayhem Devil too. I'm just gonna trim around the edges. Let's try this. Yeah, this is basically, we had tried a red-green Fires variation last week or the week before, and this just like splashed some good blue cards into it. The ever long waiting, wondering like, am I disconnected? Are they taking a while to sideboard? Who's on first? What's on second? Why is there one Lava Coil in the board? So, one of the things to understand about interactive decks is there's generally a range of interactive cards that you can be playing, all of which are slightly better or slightly worse in different situations. So rather than thinking about the one Lava Coil as a singleton Lava Coil, think of it as a 5th 2-mana removal spell after my Bonecrusher Giant. Think of it as a 3rd Redcap Melee style effect that can kill take a Torbrand off the table. When you have cards with similar effects, it's often right to play mixed numbers of all of them because the different ones are going to be better or worse in different edge case situations. It looks like Epic did actually get pushed out on Steam today. It says it's available now. But I unfortunately am not going to be streaming it this afternoon because they asked me to move my stuff. So I already changed my schedule. So Christy's not coming home to get Jake off the bus. So this is going to be my last deck of the day. Probably going to play this for another half hour or so and then be done. The disconnect timer is kind of unreal during sideboarding, huh? You have to wait for them to finish sideboarding, and then you have to wait for them to tick down here, too. And then, like, once they tick down here, you get hands to keep, and then you have to wait for them to tick down again, right? It's like 4 or 5 minutes of downtime. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody everywhere in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're a new viewer, my name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Constructed Magic and other games 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. As always, love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here, didn't doubt, without their support. Oh, I just had to wait once. That's exciting. In closing, these people are great by their stuff. Let's play another match of Magic. Figured if we were gonna have to wait there for another minute, I could fit in a shill, but let's battle. Moving on up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Our deck's clearly busted. Easy mulligan here. No lands, missing colors. This is fine. I think the conservative play is bottom a Cavalier here. You have a shill quota, or you just do it during downtime. I try to do like 2 to 3 full plugs a week on average. In addition to the miscellaneous, hey, arena's crashed, hey, we're restarting arena times that it comes up in the ticker in my corner. Prime subscribers have access to my Discord server just like everything else. On my end, Twitch Prime subs are identical to Tier 1 subs in every way. So details on it pop into the Discord server on my website here. Well, that was a good draw. Not as good as it could be, because Annex is just so good against sweepers, but I think it's right to just jam that there for sure. Thanks, Bancy, and thanks for keeping me here to have it do well. I wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you. The cleave could definitely have been a lot worse. Big agree. Now, if they have a Rimrock or something like that, we could be in a lot of trouble here. 6 cards in my bin though, so I'm gonna get to Uro into Escape Uro next turn, which is nice. If they have Rimrock plus Shock, I don't even trade with their creature here, which sucks. Daktos is a pretty reasonable demigod. I agree with that one. I guess if they kill this, I put Chandra on top and then clear their board. Am I dead? Feels pretty close to dead. We're going to 2, so dead to a Stiff Breeze. Stomp you. So this must kill me, right? This killing me. Oh, it's an elemental! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Chandra. Obs should have put Storm's Wrath on top. Not the flavor text. Oh no. Alright, Chandra. You don't make the team, Chandra. Get out. Out, I say. Stupid fire lizard and stupid elementally subtypes. Something I feel like I need to plug more to remind, I haven't really mentioned, I need to tweet about it. So Monday, I'm going to be doing a charity stream for St. Jude Children's Hospital. I got a bunch of sweet stuff lined up. Cool Stuff Inc. and BCW and Inked Gaming all sent me stuff to give away if we meet donation goals. I've got some Hoaglandia tokens I'm going to sign and send out to random people who donate. So Monday all day is going to be my normal stream, but we're going to be taking donations with a goal for St. Jude. Anywhere we can see Hoaglandia tokens. They were up on my website, but people weren't really buying them, so we took the storefront down. I can post them in the subs Discord later if you want. Looking for a red source. I believe, chat. We have 2 cantrips here. I think this is an okay keep. You know, we're hoping and praying. Survey says, yikes, yikes. Womp womp. All right, well, if we hit a red source, we'll be in a good spot. Poker face, poker face, my. I feel like this one deserves a tweet. Feel like this one deserves a tweet. All right, I get it, we've died. I get it, we've died. Never forget, chat, the shuffler is as rigged as the earth is flat. The shuffler is as rigged as the earth is flat. It's out to get you. It's out to get me. It's coming for all of us. Think I bought him a land tier. Want to keep both these spells. Think because they let on Pelt Collector, I lead on this, get mounted, and plan to stomp this. Stomp it out. Stomp, stomp, stomp it out. Beep, 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 beep. Stomp, 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 stomp. Red mana. Bum, 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 bum. And with Fabled Passage being played already here, I can play Breeding Pool Klothys next turn, and then Klothys Cavalier of Thorns the following turn. Which is more than good. It's great.
I'm crazy. Where do you see my mates? I was raised by wolves, though they might have also just been big dogs.
Okay, or since we drew that, we're not going to do Cavalier this turn. We're going to play this, fetch a mountain, play Fires, play Storm's Wrath, kill their Planeswalker and their creature. Bye, friends. Sweepers that kill planeswalkers, chat. Chef's kiss. Just. Nom 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 nom. Okay, and then since I missed on a land drop here, we'll exile a Fabled Passage. Get my third green, and then we'll cast Cavalier for mana. Ditched a bunch of Uros there, but again, notably, we do need blue to cast that, is worth noting. So you do have to pay mana for these when you escape them. Wow, brutal. Put this other Cavalier on top. And go to 4. Klothys puts us up to 6. Yeah, but I didn't have an Uro at the time, and I wanted to have more red mana in case I had a red Cavalier. I don't know if escaping this is right, but I would like to do it. Whee! Crunch. Oh, right. It's definitely right because it's lethal. Definitely right because it's lethal. Very nice. Very nice. I think QB is good because it blocks well. Ox probably doesn't block well. Trim around the edges. It's right because we also got to draw more cards. That's true. When in doubt and two decisions seem close, always err on the side of drawing more cards. Always be card drawing. Exactly. The ABCs of MTG. Had anything sweet. We played Esper Control to reasonable success. I think you'd enjoy that set, Justin. Fourth land's a good pickup. Yep. Bloomberg getting dumped on has been a common topic of the day, which has been excellent. God bless billionaires taking their licks. We don't know when the next historic card drop is. No, they said sometime early March, so I expect sometime the next 2 to 3 weeks. Well, this is a great draw because it, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. It guarantees our 5th land, though. I think I'm supposed to just use my mana this turn and clear out the Spellbreaker. We take 1 to do it, but it saves us some damage in the long run. The exact text just says March, not early. Well, that's sad. Thank you for verifying. Fingers crossed it means early.
and destroy.
Want to take the Fabled Passage here because it gives us more cards to escape with Uro down the line. Even Biden dunked on him and he can barely string a sentence together. Ain't that the truth?
Oh, I wish you could see your face while I'm beating you.
Okay. You can dance if you wanna. What you got, opponent? Would like to start by attacking your Domri. Nito Sky, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. 1,000% Bloomberg's not dropping out of the race and he's staying until the very last. I would be incredibly surprised if he didn't stay in through the very end. So I'm going to fetch before I put this on top of my deck. I hope, Peppa Jack. I hope. Well, yeah, all the non-Bernie people have realized they can't beat Bernie. So convention not having a clear winner is their only chance at the nomination. Just not even gonna mention that it was FUD. I'm just gonna time people out. Wait, friendo. I mean, you could argue having a lot of money is kind of cool. There's nothing ethical. You could say there's nothing ethical. That's accurate. Nothing cool seems patently false, though. All right, let's play the last one here. See if we can wrap up with a 5-1 or a 4-2. Remember, we did 0-2 the league, eating it to mono red twice in the set before this. We've since beaten mono red, but it's been tough. In. Do I consider any concerns about Bernie's appeal at General Election? They are. Conversations about electability are thinly veiled racism, sexism, and anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is my phrasing always sucks. When people talk about electability, what they're actually saying is this candidate is not straight, white, male, and Christian of some sort. That's what electability means in the terms, in the way that it's used by people that use it. It is hateful, and it is nonsense. If Donald Trump is electable, electability is meaningless. Don't narset me, please. Thank you. I appreciate you. Need to fetch mountains because I don't currently have a... I think I'm just growth spiraling this turn. You have an ideal Bernie VP candidate. I don't, Peppa Jack. I would just like it to be someone that's similarly as progressive as he is. I'm not familiar enough with the range of people he could pick to know who a good choice would be. Hey, Commander Jinsdale. Thanks for the support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So I can't just take this opportunity to stick Klothys because they'll just bounce it with Teferi. I think I just do this to try and hit the land and then play Klothys after, because I really just want to hit land drops, right? Stacey Abrams was on The View recently talking up Michael Bloomberg, who made a contribution to one of her campaigns, so that's... or one of her packs or something like that. So that's probably not a good choice. It was disappointing to hear. Yeah, electability is a political jargon buzzword. It's like when people talk about Magic decks needing more tempo, or like your business process needs to become more agile. The word doesn't really mean anything. It's just a way to try and sound sophisticated. Well, the problem is, Saban, they have a double tempo for Klothys literally sitting in play. Talking about his run for presidency in a positive way makes her problematic, Zombie. There is nothing not problematic about Michael Bloomberg running for president. Sure, by all means, take his money and everyone else's money. Him running for president and anyone endorsing it is problematic. Oh, we drew a land, which means I get to play this Chandra this turn. That's exciting. Electability is how politicals imply average Americans are stupid. Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, if they don't have a trawler anytime soon, Chandra can burn this mother to the ground. Yeah, I am really surprised they didn't bounce Klothys. Maybe they didn't realize he can make mana. That's kind of his flavor text, right? Like, this card generally just deals damage every turn. Hey, Giant, thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. You should pick your primary candidate the same way you should pick your Magic decks. You should pick the one that works the best for you, not the one based on some made-up metagame that doesn't really exist. That's based on people playing games that you'll never meet or interact with. It's not a good analogy as I only play Jank. Yep. Klothys plus Chandra here, beaten down for 3 points a turn. Depends on how quickly they can find Dream Trawler here. I'm tired of people pestering me about Klothys Vorthos. It's really annoying. They can bugger off. I guess I just play this and discard nothing. Look, if this was an actual person, I'd make sure to get pronouns right and whatever. It's a made-up character that's a made-up species and a made-up thing. And if I fuck up and slip up, someone's probably going to crucify me on Twitter for it later, I'm sure. It's just very frustrating doing 6 different things at once. Sorry. Sorry, I fucked up.
Try this.
I'm just tired of it. Alright, I'm gonna be done for the day. I'm kind of annoyed. Chat's making me annoyed. Playing against blue-white. Playing against blue-white. That's not how Twitter and social media works. It doesn't matter how many times you've been good or not good in the past. You do one thing that's viewed as outside the norm and you get crucified. I'm done. I'll catch y'all later.